buy something that's just going to give you an idea of what it is that can put in your own concept of what money is, what a success is,
Right.
and you say like go on Amazon. Well, I thought about this. I've never owned a brand new car. I've never been able to afford a new car or a new vehicle, and I thought that's it. That's one of my stepping stones for actual success to be able to buy a car.
Well, what kind of car are we getting?
Well, that's what I'm working on.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm
I
thinking, do
mean,
I want something practical like my camper van, or do I want like a sports car? Do I want like a motorcycle? Like I don't know. So now I gotta narrow it down. Maybe I'll have a few.
wow. Well, this is a breakthrough. This is a
Yeah,
breakthrough. This is the question of all questions. In
yeah.
fact, you know what? Hold on a second. This is a great topic for today. So thank you, Michael. I got another topic that was rolling around in my brain as well. But I know some of us have read more of, well, I know certainly Missy has, Neville Goddard, right? So
Yes.
Neville, right? Neville is this guy. He was like a Christian mystic dude from Barbados, and he wrote a few really interesting books. About the power of imagination and how that relates to you as a spirit and quite able to create stuff in your life. And so he went to his mentor. He went to like the guru guy, and the guy asked him a very profound question, and the question was, "What do you want?" Now, the way we say that could seem like, oh, you're disturbing me. What do you want? Or we could actually listen to the words and really think about that, because that's what he did. This guy Neville, that's what he did. And he was like, "What do I want?" Well, that's a great question. Let me go meditate on that. I'll get back to you, right? And so that's what just happened with Michael. You just had like a meditative experience, man. Like, what a profound question. What do you
Yeah.
want? I don't know. Okay, well, you get to not know. You get to be vague
Yeah.
for what it's worth, which isn't much, right? So so now we're gonna get unvague, right? So
Yeah.
keep asking yourself that question. What do you really want? Because look, you don't need the money, right? People say, "Oh, I want the money. All right, what's the money for?" Well, you lose. You lose.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, sorry, it got me to thinking too. It's like I was looking at a new places to live, and
Okay.
I'm looking at like what I can afford and that kind of thing. I'm like, screw this. I'm looking for the ones that I want, not the ones I can afford, because I'm going to have what I need. Instead of having to make, ends meet, which is the mindset that I've been in for so long, is making sure that I make the bills and make the budget. I'm like, no, I'm going to get something I want to be in, not something I have to be in. And
Right.
so I thought, okay, so what's first, the car or the house? And like
Okay.
those are the two priorities. And once that's taken care of, everything else is golden.
So
By
So
George, I think he has it.
sign me up, damn it. All right. So here's what that means, right? And you're already considering which one's first. It's not either or, it's both. Okay. But
Yep.
which one's first? Well, then the next logical question is, are you willing to park your new car on the street? Or would you rather have the garage space available for that?
exactly. Yep.
Okay.
So
So
I
maybe
want the garage
maybe it's the
next to
house,
the
right?
pool.
Right. Okay. So then here's the house with the garage space, and now or as they say in England, the garage, right? And so here's the garage, right? But now you've got what? You've got a vacuum. You've got this empty space in your garage, and so that's got to get filled, right? So now you've got a reason to go make more money and get the car, right?
Have the
So,
workshop.
Yeah. Oh, look, guys, this is big. Jen, you've got the floor, please. Jen, come on out.
Well, if you are wanting a home, why can't you already think that the car is in the garage?
Well, yeah, you could picture that car in that garage. I'm sorry, Bamadeli, I'm going to mute your mic. We got a little background noise on you. Sure. And could we buy could we move into the home on the same day where we take possession of the car? I suppose. Yeah. You're going to be busy, right? In fact, I will say this for what it's worth, Jen and everyone. When I move, and I've done it a few times, and it looks like I may be doing it again in not too distant future. But when I move, I know I moved in when the cars are in the garage. Now I know I'm moved in, right? Because the garage is typically a staging area, loading bay, right? And then once you can actually put a vehicle in it. Now I'm moved in, right? And I don't multitask, we're gonna go to Missy here in a second. I don't multitask. If my stuff is in a state of disarray, like if I don't know like where's my stuff, right, and have things exactly where I want them placed, then it's like I can't, like I'm not comfortable with that. So when I move,
Right.
it's like it's a move. Okay. And when I'm done, I'm done. And I don't like multitask. I know other people can live with boxes for 2 months.
No way.
Not me. All right.
Not me.
So Missy, what are your thoughts on that?
I just wanted to suggest to Michael, I've said it before, but Michael, if you go to YouTube and you look at some real Neville Goddard videos, not people talking about Neville Goddard, he used to be in New York City or many places, and he would let people, he never charged anybody a dime. And he would rent he was rich, he would rent the hall. He would let people put tape recorders on the stage, the 50s, the 60s, 70s, he died in the 70s. And he tells you this method of the wonderful human imagination. And he gives you the instructions on how to get what you want. And if you can follow this and you can get your senses into this, you're on a great start. But if you listen to Neville Goddard, you're going to accelerate.
How do you spell it? How do you spell that?
Neville Goddard, Goggard. He was a wonderful, kind, rich man. He didn't work. He did it through his imagination. He didn't make one mug. He did it through the power of his mind. So did his brother.
No
and his
mugs?
father.
Come on.
I believe that.
What? No.
This is-
Yes.
He's best known for this book.
Awakened
So if you want to start
imagination.
with one, and now we're getting into spirituality and what's been called Christian mysticism.
But
So if-
his voice is one of the keys to
Right.
getting.
I mean, this whole
I'm
book
sorry.
is 93 pages. Okay. So anyway,
What is it
Awakened
called?
Imagination. It's a classic from Neville. So
Thank you.
there you go. All right. Which has nothing to do with e-commerce and everything to do with e-commerce. All right. So do with that what you like. But you guys know I'm like the town philosopher over here. I don't ask me technical questions, right? But you want to talk philosophy. Oh my goodness. Right. Because here's the thing. What we just was revealed with Michael. And did everyone experience his emotions around that? Sure, we got some
Yes.
words. And the words were nice. Those were useful. But did you get the emotion of that? Did you get the intent and the intentionality and the definiteness, which is going to be even more definite as we kind of hone in on that, right? And Michael gets less and less vague and more specific about why he's showing up here in the first place. All the how-to stuff, all the machinery and mugs and the vias, all the vias kind of take care of themselves when we got a strong why, right? How do I do it? Well, however you need to do it, right? Look, nobody knows how to reach a goal until you've reached it. So what do you want? That's the most profound question, right? And now we can figure out methods, cups, t-shirts, stuff. Okay, nice stuff. But the main thing is right here. In fact,
Yes,
get that directly from Rachel, right? Those of you going through like the accelerator videos and stuff, there's a whole module in there just on mindset, which we agree. Rachel and I both agree. That's like 95% of the game,
Mhm.
and then, yeah, here's your coffee cups and whatever. That's nice. So, and not to minimize the how-to stuff, because that's important too. But when the why is there, the how-to virtually takes care of itself. When the why isn't there, the how-to is virtually impossible. All you
That's
see is
good.
barriers. All you see is problems. All you see is what you don't have, what you can't do, can't, don't, have to, right? And
Solid
so,
Why
words.
without faith is also a problem.
A
you
lot
go.
of people.
Have a why, but if you don't have the faith.
And you
it's
have to
gonna-
believe in yourself too.
Yes.
sure.
You got
Yeah,
How about
I mean, you're not
manifesting?
going to outperform your self-image. We can read books like Psycho-Cybernetics, Dr. Maxwell Maltz, right? Self-image psychology. This is what actually makes your choice. You can try and force your way off course, but if the autopilot is set to that destination, good or bad, that's where it's going. So force doesn't work. Wow, what a great way to start our session today. Welcome everyone to our
aloha.
Rally Power Up or whatever this is called. I see a few of our favorite people here with us today. We got Kristen and Carolyn and Missy. Denise, oh my
Me.
goodness, Denise, where's your dog?
Hi,
We got Leanna and Tassadria. Here's Liz, Kimberly. Good to see Deborah and Michael, of course. There's Jan with her awesome cup. And Gabe is here. Georgie at 3:15. Well, it's now 3:25 a.m. for you, Georgie. Glad you're here. By the way, Georgie, I use you as an example for other Australians who I can kind of detect they're groaning about the time. I'm like, you know what? Georgie shows up here at 3:15 a.m. So I don't know what to excuse you guys. So there's Sharna and Evelyn. Hey, Kelly, Sarah, Cynthia is here and on camera. What a treat. We got Carolyn, and there's Judith and Bomadelli and Sherry, Pauline, Scott, and more people than I can even fit on the screen. So let's come back. Here's what I was going to offer you guys today. I just had this conversation with some people just not even an hour ago. And it is the idea of getting out of our own way, especially in the face of fear. There was a quote, I think it was, oh my goodness, Eleanor Roosevelt or one of them. And I'm going to totally botch this quote, but it has to do with, we must do that which we are experiencing fear over. And then the result of that is that you are much more formidable. In other words, you're not as stopped as much. You are. Think about it like this: you've got people who go through conditioning. Let's say military, for example. Okay, which is pretty far afield from what we're doing here. Okay, with e-commerce, but here are people in training, and there are mechanical things to learn in terms of shooting your weapon, right? So muscle memory and things like that come into play, but that's not the main training. The rest of the training is under stress, right? So now making quick decisions and doing things that are fearful, right? Because, here are people that are going to be going into life-threatening situations, okay? And so there's a degree of conditioning that comes with that. It's one thing to stand there and, do marksmanship on a flat range. It's another thing when people are shooting back, okay? So you get conditioned to the point where you can remain objective. And I think we talked about this before. This is big. When you can remain objective and in present time and as cool as possible, as cool as a cucumber, possibly, maybe not that cool, but still have your wits about you because you remain causative. You're not totally the effect of the situation, right? You've got some part to play in that. Something can be done about it. I have responsibility for that action, regardless of the circumstances that may seem scary to me. Now, how do we start to condition ourselves to do that? You don't have to have bullets flying at you to start conditioning yourself to face seemingly stressful situations, gratefully less stressful than that one that I just described to you. Okay. But, oh my goodness, I'm about to invest in a business and myself. And up to this point, all I've done was be an employee and do what I was told. And now I'm going to risk. And maybe you've been risk averse up to this point. Maybe you've kept looking at what you can't do instead of, what you actually are quite able to do if you just stepped up and claimed, that power, which was yours, that causation, that responsibility. Yes, because you can have as much money as you're willing to be responsible for, right? So what do we have to do? We have to assume responsibility for, what is the definition of an entrepreneur? You look in the dictionary, right? One who assumes greater than normal risk for the purpose of business and profitability. That's an entrepreneur. That's a statement of and a claiming of responsibility and causation. And yes, risk, because you don't have a crystal ball. I know Michael and I jokingly, he's got crystal balls. Okay, that's fun. Okay, but do you know all the drama that leads up to you getting the car, the house, the garage? I don't know, right? There's a whole movie to watch here. In fact, we're going to write the story right now. So, and more will be revealed as we write the story. But is it a story of some, milk toast, lack of spine, I'll try, I hope it happens to me or something? No, my goodness. Imagine if you went to like the latest release in the Hollywood blockbuster movies, right? I don't know if they've released anything good in a few years, but let's say that they attempted to do so. And it's a story of, this guy who, he gets up in the morning and life happens to him and he misses the train. And, he comes home and watches 5 hours of Netflix that day. And then the next day, he does pretty much the same thing. And, he reads the news. And who's going to go watch that? Who's going to go watch this person live at the effect of life? Now, we go to the movies, if we do such things, because we get to see the spectacle, of, here's the protagonist, the hero, and they have the sword and they slay the dragon, right? They are cause. They are not effect. They are cause. And sure, they receive some interesting drama along the way, right? I like the Lord of the Rings trilogy, right? And here's Aragorn, right? And this guy, man, he's like the future king, right? He's actually the rightful king. But my goodness, they're fighting orcs and they're doing the thing, and he gets his beatings as well. Okay, he takes his licks, but just the attitude of that. Here's someone who is causing things to happen in his life for a greater purpose, right? So in this case, the eradication of Sauron, and if you know the story, right, it's good versus evil. It's pretty grand. And of course, they threw money at this thing, like no limit to the budget. If you want to see something pretty spectacular, go watch Lord of the Rings, and plan on spending 12 hours, by the way. But the idea here is that we are interested in other people's tales of victory. Are we interested in our own? Well, if you've got one, if you've got one. So what does it take for you to go be, Aragorn, or insert name of hero or heroine, right? What does it take for you to do that? It takes purpose. It takes purpose, like, and it could be, something just a little bit better than what you've done yesterday or last year or whatever. It could be pretty grandiose as well, but you've got to sell that to yourself. If you don't sell yourself that vision, no, you're not going to step up. You'll back down into fear. Oh my goodness, I have to go ahead and change my schedule, watch less TV, stop feeding all this crap into my mind with mass media, and like be more causative in my life and actually put some money on the table. Yeah. Or, if nothing changes, nothing changes, right? And at least you're comfortable sitting there eating your chicken pot pie or whatever. I like chicken pot pies, by the way. They're just so damn convenient. I'm not a foodie. I look at food and sleep as like inconveniences because I got this body. But Marie Callender's chicken pot pies, baby. So that's expedient. That's not, anything else. Can be tasty, though. What's my point? My point is that if you don't get out of your own way, nobody will do it for you. And it could mean extricating yourself violently from your best thinking, which has got you this far, but not further. I know that was the case for me, right? I used to always play it safe and playing to not lose. That doesn't make for a very exciting story. Now I play to win. Much of the time, much more of the time, right? So I haven't arrived or anything, okay? But I can be more objective and make better decisions and do it in less time because I've got a reason to. And when I'm vague on that reason, well, what do you guys think? Oh, you should do that. All right, oh, yeah. Now I'm a follower. There's times to follow. There's times to lead. And one person you definitely got to lead is you, right? So know what you want and be willing to go to any lengths to get it. And I'll tell you what, that's where security comes from. That's where security really comes from, knowing that we're powerful in our use of thought and that we're willing to go to any lengths to accomplish our purpose, right? It doesn't come from your bank statement. It doesn't come from your employer at your job, right? It doesn't come from whatever they're reporting on the news today. That's not where your security comes from. Knowing that you're powerful in your use of thought and that you're willing to do what it takes to actually accomplish these things that you've decided on. And with that, I see all this stuff in the chat. You guys know I can't talk and read at the same time. So I'm looking at what you guys are saying in the chat. Who's got some thoughts on this? Swanson Rocks. Okay, Michael. No, I will offer you that Marie Callender's is the chicken pot pie of choice in the Lavinia household. Although I haven't had one in months because my wife has the Green Chef thing and the Tovala. You guys know Tovala? You get this like toaster oven thing and you get the prepackaged, it's pretty much prepared and ready to go. You get the meals and you just scan the thing on the toaster oven Tovala thing and you put it's got all the instructions. You put the stuff in there, you click the button and it cooks your whole damn dinner for you.
What?
Fun. Yeah, it's like $250, $300, something like that for the device. And then of course they want to sell you the meals, right? So, all right, what's your menu for the week, right? Give us more money. It's a continuity program, of course, right? So, here's the machine.
Business opportunity.
Oh yeah, yeah. Check it out.
For college kids, put your order in.
Yeah, it's kind of high end for college kids, but
No,
yeah.
I'm saying you sell it to them. It's like, here,
There
give
you
me your
go.
$10 and I'll see me in 10 minutes.
There you go. Kelly Fisher, what do you think, my friend? Kelly, come on out.
Hey, hi there.
Hmm.
Uh, you know, Slay the Dragon in my little daily vision I read, that's my first reason for doing this because I used to kind of look at the whole financial industry as a very intimidating creature, you know? And so I just every day I just go, okay, either you master the money thing or the money thing masters you. There's
Mhm.
not a choice between those, right? And it's like you just kind of go in that place. So for me, it's not so much about a thing, it's about no, that's a mountain and I'm gonna go up and over it.
Mhm.
It might be slow going, but every day I make a little step, I'm making progress.
Right.
That's my 2
Beautiful.
cents.
On purpose. On purpose. I love it, Kelly. You are awesome. Good stuff. Who else? We got time for more people to run their mouths live and in person. Who else wants to come out here? I don't see
Carolyn.
any other hands.
Tara Lynn is waving to you.
Oh, okay. Hi, Taryn, we typically have raise our virtual hand. Come on out, Taryn, if you want to talk. I can't hear you. Ask to unmute. Carolyn's learning Zoom. Here we go.
Aloha.
There
Can
she
you hear me
is.
now?
Yes.
Okay, I tell a little short story about myself. I've owned a business for 44 years. So I was very used to marketing myself, very used to pushing myself, but I started at 17 years old. So I was so confident I went this far. You know, I made very, very good money as a nail technician, and a lot of people don't, but I did. So I had to go out, market, do all this stuff. But when I had to quit because of my disability and my sickness, and I couldn't go in and do nails anymore, I lost my whole identity because I did it more than my life. I mean, more than, you know. So when I couldn't do it anymore and I had to be sick for a while and stuff, I lost my memory totally from a stroke. So I lost the photographic side. So I forgot how to add. I forgot everything because it was photographic memory. So this is my lesson. God gave me this lesson to learn how to work my brain, try to remember things, because I could be talking to you any second, it'll go away. So
Wow.
this is a blessing to me. But if I ask too many questions over and over, please understand. That's all it is, you know?
Okay. All right. Well, we're glad you're here. And you seem quite able, quite fine. So all good.
I'm so blessed. I'm so happy to be here.
Good. Good. Where's your microphone, by the way? Because it's a little. So, yeah. Okay. So, I mean, we heard you, but we would like to hear you better.
Hear me better?
Oh, great. Way better. Way better.
I took it off.
Oh, okay. Good. All right. Well, that's Carolyn, everyone. And we are glad you're here, my friend. Let's see. We've got Helga and no other hands, but Helga, please come on out.
Hi.
There she is.
So I'm appreciating this, you know, like really, really appreciating this. It was time for me to start a business. And I think, you know, it was the best decision that I've made. You know, when I assess my life and I assess, you know, where I was, what I was doing, to me, there was nowhere else to go, you know, unless I get out and start again, you know, in some other field, which I wasn't willing to do. And I said to myself, you know what, you always wanted to successfully run a business, do your own thing, be your own boss. And it just so happened at the right time, there was that interception with Rachel, just talking, and then she wouldn't stop talking, and I'm listening, and she said, well, if you got this far, hey, what are you waiting on? And I'm like, fine, just got this in the mail. And I gave my check to Rachel, and I'm like, I'm gonna make this happen. So all the nuggets that I've you know been taught, that I've been given, you know, the consistency, the getting out of your way, the procrastination, you know, all the obstacles that can get in one's way. It's been tried and proven by Rachel, by Adam, by you, John, and you guys are vets in, you know, in the field. And the fact that you're willing to hold our hands and lead us through, because
Exactly.
Oh, there you go. Thank you. Oops. Yeah, that you're willing to lead us through is very comforting for me. And I'm not here to fail because, I have plans to do other things. But this right now, this is my baby, something that Rachel said, I have other pipelines, and this she uses to give back. And that is very encouraging to me because I would really love to give back to the community in whichever way that I can, fit into. One of the things that I did was I handed in my resignation. I handed in my resignation. So at the point that I'm at, there's no room for failure. When I got on board, I had the little confusion, and I'm so happy to hear that I'm not the only one that's confused by certain things. Bless you, I had my appointment with Amazon. It didn't go quite well as I thought it would, but at least I have another appointment coming up. Getting those ID pictures up to specifications and different things, it's kind of daunting. Then I go to the thread in Facebook, and I see how many people around the world are having that problem. I'm like, girl, you got this, and I have to encourage myself. And I just want to say to those out there who are struggling and having problems, you got this. If I got this, you got this. So thank you, and thank you. And I'm ready for the next step.
So glad you're here, Helga. Welcome. And look, you're at the point now where you're making bold decisions.
Yes,
and
I am.
So sometimes people are concerned, well, what if I make the wrong decision and I fail? No, hold on a second. I don't fail because I make the wrong decision. I'll make a decision, then I'll make it right. If I fail, it's because I turn my back on my own decisions.
There you go.
Which is called indecision. There's
Yes.
there's failure, indecision, right? So once you burn the boats, now we go take the beach, right? If we're going to burn the boats, we got to take the beach. I know that's not a metaphor that Kelly likes, but that's okay, right? You understand what we mean
Yes.
by that, right? No turning back,
Yeah.
decision.
No turning back, and you got to
Yeah.
be consistent.
Yeah, glad you're here, my friend. That's Helga, everyone. She's awesome.
Thank
Hooray.
you. So are you.
Thank you. Let's go to Carolyn. Carolyn's got her hand up. Hey, Carolyn.
Hey there. Am I unmuted?
Hey, yes, you are live.
Okay, great. Well, thank you, Helga. That makes me feel a little bit better. I'm so confused. I'm just so confused. I'm going step by step, but I did have my Amazon appointment and it went okay. But then you have to wait the 3 days. And I literally just got this in the mail this morning, this whole verification, putting in a code. I can't find where to put it. I have my thing up right here. There's nowhere that says code field in my account. I don't know. Things like this drive me insane. Like, I just want to get moving. I want to go.
That, if you don't mind me interrupting, that part where you filled out the information and put in the card, the part before that, you'll see to the bottom where it has the one-time code part to the bottom of that page. That's where you have to go.
It says go to your account. I'm in my account and there's nothing there.
What I did-
On your
we can't do
application?
tech support on this line but here's what we can do is when I reset this room, it's open again. If you guys want to, get together and share screens and stuff like that, you could. Okay. But I hear you, Carolyn, because it's a big beast of a machine and it's like, where's the thing? Where's the thing? Here's what, not only you, but also Helga, what I'm getting for both of you is that you're climbing that mountain. And here's what I promise you is going to happen. Things that seem like mountainous issues right now are going to be nothing, that tiny little things. The more competent you become. Yes. Right. So that which takes 2 hours today, a couple of months from now takes 10 minutes. All right. So just trust that process. But yeah, Amazon likes to throw up all kinds of barriers for you. So
Okay.
yeah. Sorry.
And
you're
some
having-
days I'm fine with it. I just take a step and then I walk away and I come back later. But today I'm just confused and irritated by it.
Okay, here's what we do. Everyone. Remember, being objective, not subjective, not all my thinking about it. Okay, stop, hit the street, look at trees, birds, bumpers on cars, stop signs, whatever. Just be in present time with stuff. No evaluation, just look at the stuff. That's it. And then you come back and now, you know what? I see that stuff there. Oh, there's the field that I'm looking for. Oh, and then you get back into the flow. But you've got to commingle subjectivity with objectivity. You can't just stare at your computer screen all day or you will go mad. Trust me,
Yeah.
I'm kind of mad, you know? So, so glad you're here, my friend. Carolyn,
Thank
is there
you.
anything else you wanted to say on topic today?
No, other than I just really appreciate these calls. They're really helpful.
I'm glad you're here, my friend. This is just the beginning. So good stuff. All right. I don't see any other hands up. Thank you guys for a brilliant session. This is so fun that we get together here each day. I'm going to go ahead and reset the room. And anyone who wants to be in the room's open 24 hours. So as long as we're not in actual session, and it does not get broadcast to YouTube 24 hours a day. No, this is just for our little thing here. For those of you tuning in on YouTube, we're glad you're here as well. And I will look forward to seeing you all on another thrilling episode of our Daily Success Call Power Up, whatever the title of this thing is, in 23 and a half hours.